Good evening, everyone. So, guys, as per our rapid revision plan for the last 15 days, for the next 2 days, you have economy target where we will discuss important topics of economy and you have to solve economy optima test. Okay, guys. So, let's begin. My focus will be on very important topics only. I'll be highlighting the topics which will be coming in the UPSC prelims examination from the economy section. Okay, guys, so let's begin. So, guys, today we will first quickly go through the important issues from the national income section of the economy. So, guys, you all know that this topic, national income, every year, at least one question you get from this section. So, this year, what are the important topics? Let us see, guys. So, the very first topic we can get is overall India's GDP. Overall India's GDP. Guys, you know that GDP is what? GDP is about the private final consumption expenditure, gross capital formation, then government final consumption expenditure, and net exports. So, guys, we all know that India is mostly a consumption driven economy, but what has happened is that in the past few years, 1 or 2 years, what has happened is that the demand is not there. The demand is not there. And since the demand is not there, what is happening is that investments are also not coming. And since investments are not coming, obviously economic growth is muted. Okay, just this basic I wanted to give you so that any conceptual question if comes, you are able to handle. The next topic, which is very important, is the real and nominal GDP. Guys, real and nominal GDP, the only difference is about what? Only difference is about the inflation. Okay. The only difference is about inflation. The real GDP accounts for inflation. Okay. Whereas the nominal GDP does not account for inflation. Related concept is the concept of price deflator. Okay. Which is related to this concept of nominal GDP and the real GDP. This year, this topic is in news. Why this topic is in news? Guys, because of, okay, we are hearing a lot of about inflation. So you should know this basics. Okay. Next topic, if you see here, the GVA versus GDP debate. Guys, there is a divergence between the GDP and GVA. So what is GVA? What is GDP? Guys, we all know that GDP is what? GDP is sum total of all the finished good and services produced in the country. The value of that is called GDP. Whereas, okay, GVA is more to do with value addition. Okay, more to do with value addition. Okay, means whatever goes into the process. Okay, so here you can see the relationship between the GVA and GDP is what? GVA is GDP plus subsidies minus taxes. Okay, this you should remember. This you should remember. So what happens is that whenever the subsidies will increase, okay, the GVA value will increase. Okay, so the difference between the GVA and the GDP is the subsidy component and the tax component. So whenever subsidies will increase, the difference, the divergence between GDP and GVA will increase. So this is very, very important. This was in news. You can see what explains the big divergence between the GDP and the GVA. Very, very important. Okay. Very, very important. Okay. Next, you can see, guys, developed country and developing country debate. So, guys, you all know that we have made an aim to become a developed country by 2047. We have made an aim of becoming a developed country by 2047. Okay. So, you see, exactly there is no definition about what is a developed country. Okay, there is no exact definition of that. According to World Bank, as per the per capita income, okay, the countries are divided into, you can see here, low income country, then low middle income country, upper middle income country, and high income country. So guys, if you have the per capita income of more than $12,000, then you will be a higher income country, which is also seen as a developed country. But at present, India's per capita income is around $2,500, which is in the lower middle income country, which is in the lower middle income country. So this is as per the World Bank classification. WTO classification is different. WTO classification is different. WTO does not follow any exact definition of developed or developing country. It does not follow any exact definition of developed or developed country. However, for developing countries, okay, who want to be considered as a developing country, then there are some special and differentiated treatment to those developing countries. Okay, to those developing countries. Overall, developed country is a country where the human development index is very high. Developed country is a country where the problems of poverty, the problems of unemployment are not very acute. Developed country is a country where it is more industrialized. Developed country is a country which is more diverse as a country. Okay, so this is overall general features of a developed country. However, again, I repeat, there is no one definition of a developed country. As per the World Bank, it is something. As per the IMF, it is different. As per the WTO, it is different. But generally, what is considered definition, okay, is the World Bank definition. So to India to become a developed country, we have to push our per capita income from $2,000 to around $12,000 to $13,000, which is a big task. Okay. Next, guys, these two terms, crowding out of inflation and crowding in of inflation, is very, very okay. Generally, we see this. UPSC in some other exams like CDS exam, CAPF exam has been asking question on this crowding out and crowding in effect. Guys, crowding in effect. What is crowding in? Crowding in means we are bringing in. In means incoming. So crowding in means what? Wherever government spends in infrastructure, and that government spend in infrastructure attracts more investments. That is called crowding in of investment. Means private investment follows public investments. Okay, so suppose government is building a road. So once the road is built, private investment will come. Okay, this is called crowding in effect. What is crowding out effect? Crowding out means the word itself explains crowding out. Means this, due to the higher investments or higher spending made by government, the money which is generally there in the market generally is borrowed by the government, and thus very less money is left for the private investments. So private investments fall. That is called crowding out of investment. That is why government borrowing should not be very high. If government borrowings are very high, then what will happen is that private investments will fall. Okay, this is called crowding in effect and crowding out effect. Very, very important. Okay. Sticky inflation. What is sticky inflation? Inflation which is very high, stubbornly high, without any decrease, is called sticky inflation. Guys, green GDP. Green GDP is a term which is now used very often, particularly because of the climate change. The term green GDP is very, very normal now. What is green GDP? Green GDP is GDP minus the climate damage done by global warming, minus the opportunity cost of energy depletion, mineral depletion, net forest depletion, plus whatever expenditure we are doing on environment protection. That is called the green GDP. So important concept, maybe UPSC may ask sometimes. Next, guys, Hindu rate of growth. What is Hindu rate of growth? Hindu rate of growth is a very low growth of 2 to 3%, which was very common in India in 1970s and 80s, when India was not liberalized, when India was not an open economy. India was a closed economy. India was a regulated economy. Because of the regulation, because of the closeness, the Indian economy used to grow at a very slow pace of 3%, 2%. And this 2 or 3% economic growth was termed as a Hindu rate of growth by Professor Rajakrishna. Why it is in news? Because the ex-RBI Governor Raghuram Rajan recently pointed out that India is moving towards Hindu rate of growth, means the GDP growth is very low or will be low in future because of the falling private investments. That is why in the very first slide, guys, I explained you why private investments are falling. The reason I explained you, guys, India's main GDP is formed by public consumption, okay, demand. And if this falls, private investment automatically falls. Private investment automatically falls. Okay, so this is the reason. Since the demand is low, why demand is low? Demand is low because incomes are not increasing. Why incomes are not increasing? Because jobs are not there. Because jobs are not there. So jobless growth leading to low income, leading to low demand, leading to low investment, leading to low economic growth. Okay, guys, I hope it is clear. Okay, next, guys. Guys, there is recent debate report has come about sharp fall in household sector saving in financial assets. So household saving, which is a very important part of the saving in the economy. Household saving can be in financial saving and it can be in physical saving. So there has been sharp decline in financial saving of the household. It has come to 5.1% of the GDP. 5.1% of the GDP. Okay. So this is a very, very dangerous situation, I would say. Why? Because it used to be around 11% and now it is around 5.1%. So this is not good for an economy. Why? Because if household financial savings to be particular are decreasing, this means people are not able to save and people are borrowing more. Okay, so one explanation of this household saving dip or household financial saving dip is what? That household financial saving dip is because of the overall fall in income and job losses and interest payments. Means whatever family is earning, so first of all, the income has reduced because the job is not there. Second reason is whatever money they are earning, they are giving interest payments. Why? Because the household debt is increasing. Household debt is increasing. Thus, the money left for financial saving is very low. Okay, so this is just basic things. They may ask you, okay, they may ask you very, very important. You can see here, the reduction in financial savings is because of rise in financial liabilities. So loans are increasing. People are taking more loans. People are taking more loans. I hope you must have taken some loan. Fintech companies nowadays, they give very easy loans. Okay, so this may be one of the reasons. Next, Amrit Kal. Amrit Kal is the 25 years. For the next 25 years is the Amrit Kal of India. Amrit Kal will be the Kal where we become from developing to developed country. From developing to developed country. And this Amrit Kal given in the budget has 7 stages. What are these? Inclusive development. So inclusive growth can be asked. Inclusive growth is a growth which includes everyone. Next, reaching the last mile, infrastructure investment, unleashing the potential, green growth. That is why green GDP I was discussing. Youth power, the concept of demographic dividend, I will discuss this. This is very important. Demographic dividend can be asked this year. And the financial sector. Financial sector means credit, savings, all those kinds of things, financial inclusion. Okay, so these are the 7. So these 7 themes are very important for the Amrit Kal. They can sometimes give you a very factual question. What are the 7 elements of Amrit Kal? Next, guys, the concept of slowdown and recession. A slowdown is slowdown in the GDP pace, growth of GDP pace when it slows down. It is called slowdown. For example, if suppose GDP was growing at 5%, now it is going at 4%, then 3%, then 2%. What is recession? Recession is different. Recession is overall fall in the GDP for 2 quarters, consecutive quarters. For 2 consecutive quarters is called a recession. Okay, recession. So overall, if you see many Western economies, they are in a recession. Okay, so this is in news. Next, guys, concept is called stagflation. What is stagflation? Stagflation is slowdown plus inflation. Slow down plus inflation plus unemployment is called stagflation. Why stagflation is difficult? Because if you are slowing down, you pump more money to prime the economy, to boost the economy. But what will happen? If you pump more money, inflation will also increase. This is a very difficult situation to handle, where the slowdown is there and inflation is very high. So why are we discussing? Because inflation throughout the world is very high. So inflation is a big problem throughout the world, not just in India, even America, Europe are record-breaking inflation. On the other hand, there is a slowdown in the world. So this stagflation is a very important concept they can ask you. Next, guys, the concept of investment multiplier. What is multiplier effect in the economy? Guys, when we put 1 rupee and if it produces 10 rupee, it is called a multiplier of 10. It is called a multiplier of 10. Guys, what happens when we do public investments in infrastructure, when we do public investments in capital goods, what happens? It will produce more economic growth than what we achieve by doing in subsidies. Okay. So now government, if you see, the focus is on investments in infrastructure. If you see whether it is defense, whether it is, okay, the transport sector, logistics sector, roads, buildings, ships building. So government is doing a lot of investment. So multiplier impact is very high, means overall the impact on economy is very high for this investment. It's called multiplier impact. Okay, so generally infrastructure spending has very high multiplier impact. Okay, means 1 rupee spent creates 10 rupee or 2 rupee or 5 rupee, whatever be that value. Next, concept of venture capital and private equity. What is venture capital? When you invest money in a startup, it's called venture capital. Risky investments. Okay, venture capital. What is private equity? Private equity, the name says private and equity. Means when you do investments in a company which is still private, which is not publicly listed in any stock exchange, that is called private equity. That is called private equity. Suppose tomorrow you start a company and company is running okay, but still it is not listed in the stock market, but you need some funds. You go to a private equity, they will give you funds and you have to give them some equity in return. Okay, next, de-risking and decoupling. What is decoupling? Guys, decoupling means the concept of coupling. Coupling means one country, another country. So one country is related to another country. One country impacts the other country. It's called coupling. They're coupled. Like suppose there is a slowdown in America, so there will be a slowdown in India also. This is called coupling. Guys, the concept of decoupling means India is decoupled from the world. Means the outside world may be slowing down, but India is growing. This is called decoupling. Okay. What is de-risking? De-risking means, guys, you know that entire world is dependent on China for inputs. Guys, today we are talking about the global value chain. In global value chain, what happens, guys? The products are produced at different locations and then they are assembled at one place. So if you see, China is the big player in the global value chain. Whether it is iPhone, whether it is any commodity, semiconductors or whatever, China is the important value chain element. So everyone wants to de-risk themselves from China. Everyone wants to de-risk. De-risk means they want to do friend-shoring. What is friend-shoring? Means they want to establish the value chain in their friend country, in their friend country. Friend country means friend shoring. Friend country means suppose India and America, they are friends. Okay, so this is called friend shoring. But India and no, sorry, America and China, they are not friends. They are competitors. US does not want to be dependent on China now. Okay, I hope you know the concept of friend shoring. There is another concept related to this China plus one. China plus one. What is China plus one? Guys, no one wants to be dependent on China. Everyone wants an option. Everyone wants an option. That let me not invest everything in China. Let me not have all the factories in China. Let me have one option left. So there is a competition for one. Indonesia, Malaysia, Vietnam, and even India is vying for this one position. Because once you are in China plus one, means the investment which was coming for China will start coming to India or these countries. China plus one. I hope you know that. I hope you know that. Guys, till now we have covered some important aspects. Guys, is it benefiting, guys? Can we continue, guys? Guys, can we continue, guys? We are covering the important elements. Okay, everyone in the comment box, quickly. Is it helping, guys? Quickly. Okay, next concept, guys, we are discussing demographic dividend. Very important this year in exam, it's coming. It's coming in exam. It's already started to reach the exam hall on the day of 16th of this June. Demographic dividend. Guys, what is demographic dividend? Demographic dividend is nothing but the economic growth which comes because of favorable age structure. What is favorable age structure? Young population, young working age population, young working age population 15 to 64. 15 to 64 is called young population, young working age population. When the young working age population share is more, then economic growth will happen in that country, and that economic growth is called demographic dividend. Again, I repeat, that economic growth which comes because of the favorable working age population in the country is called demographic dividend. Guys, you see this age structure. 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 So guys, in demographic dividend, what happens? The youth population is more. Okay, the middle is more. Okay, very important. Guys, India is now the most populated country of the world. But at the same time, India is the youngest population in the world. That is why what happens is India has the largest workforce of the world. India has the largest workforce of the world. Guys, total working population in India is how much? I think, if I'm not wrong, it is around 500 million, 50 crore people. Okay, it's a huge number, guys. America population, okay, America population is how much? America population is around 40 crores. Just imagine, our worker population is more than that. This is a huge advantage for a country like India. Guys, are you getting this, guys? Guys, are you getting this? Demographic dividend. But the problem in demographic dividend is what? What is the challenge? The challenge is the skill. The challenge is the skill. We do not have the skills. That is why, that is the problem. Okay. Another concept which is there in news is falling fertility rate. Falling fertility rate. Guys, fertility rate is falling. That is again a sign of demographic dividend. Demographic dividend. Okay. But it should not fall very low, like happening in China. Guys, China population is a negative decline. Let me tell you guys, China population is a negative decline for the next 2 consecutive years. China population has already started declining, guys. Very important. So they may ask a question on this. Next, green shoe option. Green shoe option. Just remember, no need to go in depth. What is green shoe option? Related to the IPOs. Related to IPOs, capital market. Okay. Green shoe option. Okay. A kind of a buyback of share. Okay. Green shoe option. Okay. They just will say, these questions will come. This term is related to what? No need to go in depth. No need to go in depth. Next, overheating of economy. What is overheating of economy, guys? Guys, when economy grows too fast, it gets overheated. Inflation is called overheating. Guys, overheating. See, if you also do something more quickly, then you will get heated. Okay, overheated economy means inflation becomes very high. Economy grows very fast beyond its potential. Okay. What is full potential economy? Full potential economy is economy where we have full employment. Okay. Next, Competition Commission of India. Next, Competition Commission of India. Guys, it's a very important question. Very important question, guys. Competition Commission of India was asked last year mains examination. I predicted, and I am predicting prelims also. They are going to ask. Competition Commission of India is a statutory body under Ministry of Corporate Affairs. It is basically responsible for fair competition in the economy, so that there is no dominance of one country, one company, or no kind of a monopoly, or kind of a oligopoly, a kind of a. Okay, I hope you know all these concepts. I hope you know all these concepts. So they can ask you composition of the Competition Commission of India, or they can ask you what is the kind of body like this. They can ask you. It's a very important body. It can find. Okay, it can do advocacy. So many things it can do. Okay, guys. So let me just share with you one more thing here. I'm thinking one question will come here. Let me just share with you the file here, guys. I think this question can come, sir. Guys, I hope it is visible, guys. I hope it is visible, guys. Okay, so if you see here, in my Optima card, I have given you one thing. Okay. One concept I have given about the competition. Okay, something I have given to about competition. I don't know where it is. Okay, evergreening. Okay, can you see which number is there? Competition. Okay, so guys, you should know what is the different types: oligopoly, monopoly. Okay, so this thing you should know. I have already given in this card. You can go and you can just go through it. Okay, you can go through it. This is very important. Okay, this is very important. Okay, you see, I have given demographic dividend. Okay, so this also I have given. Okay, you can go through these cards. Very important. It's somewhere here. I just will go through it quickly. Okay, all the cards will go through quickly, but it is somewhere. It is covered here. Okay, you can just see to it in the index, and you can go to that topic and you should read it. Okay, guys. Let me just see here if I can find it here. Okay, 1 second. I just do it. Monopoly. Okay, no, it is not there. It's in the cards. It's in the cards. Okay, guys. Okay, it's in the cards. So overall, okay, overall, if you see, these are the important topics. Okay, from this section. Okay, this section I have covered today. Okay, these are the sections I have covered today. First section, which is the national income. First section is the national income. Okay, guys. So anyone has anything to say? One more thing. Consumption spending survey has come. They can ask you which body comes out with this consumption spending survey. But what is the name of the body, guys? Okay. What is the name of the body consumption survey? It is important. It is important, guys. Consumption survey is used to calculate what? Poverty. To calculate what? Poverty. It's very important. Okay. Household consumption survey. Okay. Okay. Someone is saying card number 105. Let me see. Card number 105. Let me see this. 105. 105. 105. 1 second. Yeah. See, guys, perfect competition. Why I am saying this topic is going to come in exam? I am predicting this. UPSC should give this question in the exam. Whoever is the paper setter, definitely he should give this exam. Why? The reason, guys, if you see, not just in India, even America. Okay, even America, even Europe, everyone is struggling with these monopolies which are coming up. Everyone is struggling with the monopolies which are coming up. Which are the monopolies, guys? Google, Facebook, Meta. These are the companies which are monopolizing the internet, monopolizing the digital technologies. Like, for example, guys, we have seen here what is happening. Okay, in the digital. So European Union is the first country to come out with this. Can you tell me which is the initiative? European Union, DSA, DMA, DSA, DMA, DSA, DMA. Very important. Prediction. Okay. So perfect competition, I know what is perfect competition, guys. When there is complete freedom to entry and to exit, when there are substitutes available. Okay. Guys, I hope you know this. Okay, when demand and supply, okay, demand and supply is there. Okay, there is no domination of one player. Perfect information is available so that the purchaser will purchase using that information. But suppose information is not there, then that is not called a perfect competition. Monopoly is one company dominating, guys. One company dominating, for example, PSUs, still some sector is a monopoly. Still some sector is a monopoly. Can you give example of monopoly, guys, in India in one sector? PSU monopoly, can you give example? PSU monopoly, like the railways. Railway, I hope you know that. Okay, oligopoly. Oligopoly means what? Means 2-3 big companies. I would not take the name here. 2-3 many big companies, they are capturing the entire what? Field. For example, in telecom, what we are seeing, that a kind of, I'm not saying that it is a monopoly, but you see Vodafone is kind of a declining. We have only 2 players left, Airtel and Jio. Airtel and Jio. I use both. I use Airtel also, I use Jio also. I have both the same. Okay. So just I'm saying this is called oligopoly. Monopoly means what, guys? Only one company dominating everything. That is little bit difficult in India. That is no monopoly. Only PSU monopoly. Sometimes PSU monopoly is there. But private sector, I don't think there is any monopoly example. Do you know any monopoly example? Do you know any monopoly example? I don't think so. Okay. So let us come back, guys. Let us come back to this thing. So, guys, I have discussed this. Okay, all the important first unit. First unit I have given you. There are other terms also, guys. Reverse flipping. This company is coming back to India. Okay, then stagflation. Okay, we have discussed. Okay. Next, any topic is left. Okay. I don't think so. Household liabilities. Yeah, household liabilities are increasing. That also I explained you. See, maybe sometimes you see Prime Minister claims that okay, India is now the 5th largest economy. Okay. Okay, but the problem is what? The problem is not the 5th largest economy. We may become the 3rd largest economy also after few years. But the problem is what? The per capita income. The per capita income, we are the one of the lowest in the world. Okay, one of the lowest in the world. That is a big problem, guys, because of the population. So even if we become the 3rd largest, 2nd largest, okay, that does not matter much. It may matter for the country because country will have more resources. So the country standing in the world will improve. But it will not create much difference for the common people on the ground. Why? Because of the another important concept this year. Inequality. Gini coefficient. Very important this year. Gini coefficient. Inequality. Very important. One question they should ask. They should ask one question on inequality. So inequality concept is related to per capita income. Lewis model. Guys, how many people working in agriculture? Still 50%. Industry. Then services. Very less. But share of agriculture is what? Only 15 to 20%. Industry share is only 20%. 25%. I exactly. And this is 54%. Services sector. Okay. So I hope you know all these things. Okay. So this is the household survey, consumption survey. Okay. Please go through it. It's an important one. Once UPSC asks question on consumption survey also. So first unit, I have revised everything. Anyone has any doubts? Quickly. Anyone has any doubts? Okay, next topic, guys. Let us discuss quickly. Okay, let us discuss quickly. I think this topic is important this year, inflation and unemployment. Guys, very important. Guys, if you see this year, one theme which is going is unemployment. One thing which is going is unemployment. Guys, very, very important this year. Okay, so first thing what you need to prepare is the definitions. What is labor force participation rate? What is worker population rate? I have explained everything. Unemployment rate, employment, you should know the definition, basic definition. Next, PLFS data. PLFS, very, very important. Very, very important. PLFS. Okay. You see here, it is conducted by National Statistical Office. Started in 2017. Okay. Very, very important. Okay. If you see, the methodology is what? Usual status, current weekly status. These two is very, very important. They can make the use and they'll say it is used for what? It's for unemployment. Okay. Basically, these are kind of survey methodology. Survey methodology, usual status and current weekly status. Guys, the problem in India is that labor force participation rate is very low. Labor force participation rate is low and it is falling. Someone is saying, sir, please talk about the types of unemployment. Guys, types of unemployment are what? One is called structural unemployment. Structural unemployment. What is structural unemployment? Frictional unemployment. Frictional unemployment. What is disguised unemployment? What is disguised unemployment? Guys, what is technology unemployment? Technology unemployment. Technology unemployment. So guys, structural unemployment because of the structural change in the economy. Suppose tomorrow we will adopt AI. Suppose tomorrow we will adopt AI. So many people, I do not have a skill of AI. Maybe I will not find a job. Okay, only people who have AI skill, they will find a job. So this is called structural, means when there's structural change happening in economy. Okay, disguised means, okay, one person can do 4 people job, but 4 people are doing that job. Disguised unemployed. Frictional unemployed. Frictional means what? When you are changing job from 1 to 2, it's called frictional job. Frictional unemployment. Like most of you are already engineers, doctors, and you are preparing for another job, UPSC job. So you are unemployed right now. It's called frictional unemployment. It's called frictional technology unemployment. Okay, so all these things are important, guys. Just go through them, guys. Okay, guys. So, guys, this labor survey is very, very important, guys. Seasonal, yeah, seasonal unemployment. Okay, agriculture sector. Agriculture sector. Okay, guys. Next topic, guys, gig worker, very, very important, guys. Gig worker are called part-time workers, platform workers, gig workers. Guys, these days, many gig platforms are coming. Gig platforms are coming like Uber. Like, okay, various platforms are coming. Like, okay, what is that called? Bikes and all. Okay, bikes are there. Sharing, bike sharing, car sharing, Rapido, all these kinds of things. Okay. This is called gig worker. Gig workers means they do not have any employee-employer relationship. They work for many platforms. Okay. Gig worker is called platform worker also, platform economy. So guys, they can ask you the number of workers employed in this. So guys, 1.5% of the total workforce in India is employed in gig economy. Gig economy, very, very important. So Rajasthan government has come out with a bill. Okay, gig economy bill. Okay, I hope you know this. Guys, next concept is concept of employment elasticity. What is employment elasticity? Guys, percentage change in growth. What is the commensurate change in employment? Is called employment elasticity. If suppose employment elasticity is 1, this means what? Whatever growth is there in economy, it will lead to job growth. If it is less than 1, means economy will grow, but jobs will not grow. If it is very less than 1.1, this means economy is growing, but job is not growing. Why? Because we are having what? Capital intensive growth. Capital intensive growth. Capital intensive growth. Not labor intensive growth. Okay, I hope you know this. I hope you know this. So guys, after 1991, what has happened is that labor intensive growth has not been there. Capital intensive growth is there. That is why we have jobless growth. Jobless growth. Jobless growth. Next. Inequality, guys, I have told you inequality is a big concept. See, there is a controversy. There is a lot of controversy that inequality in India is rising. Some reports say it is decreasing. Some reports say it is rising. It is very, very controversial. Because if you go to the global data sets, like the Oxfam report, like the Thomas Piketty report, they say that inequality in India is rising very sharply. But if you see some government reports like the SBI report says what? Gini coefficient has dropped from 4.47 to 0.42. Okay. So there is a lot of controversy. I don't know exactly they will ask this or not. I don't know. But inequality as a concept, they can ask you. Inequality as a concept, they may ask you. Okay, 90-10 ratio. 90-10 ratio is also very, very important. 10% of the economy, okay, how much the earning they do, how much income they have. Okay, very, very important. 19-10 ratio, 90-10 ratio, very important. So guys, inequality is not good for any country, because if inequality is more high, then what is happening? Demand will fall. Slowly, slowly demand will fall. Okay. So all these things, okay. Lorenz curve. Lorenz curve is about wealth distribution. Gini coefficient is about the inequality. Okay. 90-10 ratio is also about inequality. Unemployment, disguised unemployment, seasonal unemployment, structural unemployment, cyclical unemployment, technological unemployment, fictional unemployment, vulnerable unemployment. Guys, all we have discussed. Everything is there in your notes. If you go through these notes, you will be benefited. You will benefit. Okay, guys. So you can see this. Yeah. Next controversy which was there this year, worker productivity. Worker productivity. Guys. See, many people say India has the lowest worker productivity in the world. Okay, some people say that. Some people say that worker productivity is less. Okay, what is worker productivity? Is output per unit of labor. Output per unit of labor is called worker productivity. Okay, so many people say that the productivity is less in India, but overall, like Indians work more, work harder. Okay, so go through these data sets. This is very, very important. You can see here India's labor productivity is only 3/4 of China, 1/2 of Brazil and Thailand, and 20% of Japan and 30% of America. Why? Can you tell me? Because of maybe skill, maybe technology. Okay. So productivity is very important. See, many aspirants, they complain. They say, sir, I study for 10 hours every day. 10 hours every day, but still I fail in exam. It's about what? Not only hours, productivity. Are you productive enough? Very, very important. So concept AI, artificial intelligence, job loss. Okay, all these things important. India AI, okay, which is a India platform, AI platform. Okay, guys, these conventions, okay, forced labor convention number 29, abolition of forced labor convention 105, equal remuneration convention. So ILO conventions, okay, sometimes UPSC may ask. Next, guys, national multidimensional poverty index, Niti Aayog. Okay. So guys, multidimensional poverty index, okay, if you see here, how many variables they take? Okay, so the Niti Aayog, they go for 12 data sets, and the global MPI, which is brought by UNDP, it goes for 10 data sets. Okay, so 12, 10 is very, very important. Go through it. Next concept, guys, inflation, demand pull inflation, cost push inflation. So guys, in India, what do we have? We have demand pull inflation or cost push inflation. In India, what kind of inflation we have? Guys, we do not have right now demand pull inflation. It is what? Cost push inflation. Why? Because of infrastructure problems like agri. Next, deflation. Deflation, guys, what? Deflation is opposite of inflation, refers to sustained decrease in general price levels. Another is disinflation, slowdown in inflation. slowdown in inflation, hyperinflation, very high inflation, stagflation, reflation. Okay, I hope you know this. Now new concept has come, climate inflation, green inflation. Because of the change in green technology, the cost increases because of the metals, critical minerals. Okay, I hope you know this. Core inflation, headline inflation. Headline inflation is core plus food and fuel. Another concept, greed inflation. What is greed inflation, guys? Greed inflation is inflation because of greed of corporates. Greed of corporates. Another important concept, guys, producer price index. Wholesale price index, CPI, consumer price index, and producer price index. Producer price index is becoming very, very important nowadays. Producer price index is the average change in the selling price perceived by the producer of their goods and services. Producer price index. Very, very important. It includes both goods and services. It includes what? Both goods and services. Okay. Very, very important. It is calculated at the stage of production. So from the perspective of production, producer, this is the important. Okay, guys. I hope you should go through it. It's very, very important. Food inflation, very, very important. I have already told you why food inflation we have. See, food inflation cannot be tackled by just RBI monetary policy. Because food inflation is not because of demand. It is because of the infrastructural problems, supply side problems. Supply side problems cannot be solved by the RBI policy. Remember this. Remember this. Core inflation, sticky inflation, CPI, WPI, disinflation, deflation, all this we have discussed. Okay. Greedflation, not because of the wage price spiral, it is because of the corporate greed to maximize the profit. It's called corporate greed, greedflation. Guys, you must have seen that, okay, greedflation means what? High prices, very high prices. They may not need that much money to produce that product, but they charge you very high. That is called greedflation. You go to Delhi, you will understand what is greedflation as a UPSC aspirant. Okay. Greedflation. Okay. So this greedflation. Deflation we have discussed. Disinflation also we have discussed. Base effect. Base effect is what? Base effect means the base on which the inflation is calculated. Okay, that's called base effect. Okay, guys. So for today, this much. Tomorrow, again, I will take 2 sessions. Tomorrow, we will cover external sector, monetary policy, and next day, we will cover fiscal policy. Okay, guys. Okay, guys. Bye-bye. Take care.